Hi, babe. Welcome to the Horror Babe Show. I'm your host, Chelsea Beller. On today's virtual Filmmaker Friday episode, we have Sam Shapson. Sam is a director, editor, and very experienced first AD. Sam directed The King in Yellow, a student short film based on the R.W. Chambers short stories from 1895. Let's tune in to my conversation with Sam. Awesome. We're recording.
Great.
Okay. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Really, really good. So Sam, for the audiences that will be watching this, Sam created the short The King in Yellow, and we're going to be talking about that today, as well as just film in general and
Cool.
Sam in general. Sam, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your history with film, and how you got to this point?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me on. It's always fun to talk about this stuff and talk about horror. Um, uh, I got into film when I was in high school. It was sort of like this. It represented this fusion between two things that I really loved. I really always loved art. I love drawing and sculpture and photography and music and theater. And I felt like, okay, I either have to choose the art path or my other passion, which is like science and like my
Oh,
desire to like understand the universe.
nice.
And I just found that what I didn't realize at the time in discovering film, but I think I've come to realize a little more now that I'm getting older in my 30s. I think that both of them were really expressions of my desire to explore the unknown, that art is a way to explore and express things that are not known or well understood to
Sure.
ourselves or others. And then of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
I was drawn to like physics and I imagined myself being a quantum physicist or a neuroscientist or something
Wow.
like that.
Yeah.
So film was this cool little fusion. So I went to film school in Chicago. I grew up in
Nice.
Wisconsin, went to film school in Chicago. And while I was there developing, as a very, very young aspiring filmmaker, I started assistant directing. So
Nice.
for audiences that do know what a little bit about a film set and how it works, there's a first assistant director called the first AD, who is kind of like the general of running the set, the maker of the schedule, the protector of the of people's safety. Um,
A lot of
and you're
responsibility.
it's a lot of responsibility, and you're
Yeah.
kind of like performing on stage in front of the
Yeah.
whole cast and crew, and like you are kind of the lightning rod that keeps everything moving together, and you're also the lightning rod for everybody's problems. So I did I that became that became my career
Wow.
for quite a while. So
Yeah.
moved out to LA and ended up becoming finding my place as a first AD, first music videos, then commercials, and eventually features. Ended
Yeah.
up doing I mean, definitely well over probably maybe 150 projects total, like 11 features.
Nice.
It was a great way to really grow in terms of my understanding of the craft of film,
Mm.
and the human machinations that go into making this
Yeah.
collaborative medium happen.
Yeah.
Um,
You
but it
can't do it
wasn't
without people.
you can't do it without people, but
Nope.
it wasn't really creatively fulfilling the way I wanted it to
Oh,
be,
sure.
You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
you have to keep a part of the creative part of yourself a little bit locked away, but you have to access it too so you can understand what everybody wants.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and then I finally felt like I'd had enough of that and decided to reboot the whole thing and applied to some grad schools and ended up
Mm.
choosing the USC Peter Stark producing program, which is
Okay.
where I met my creative collaborator, Elena, who I co wrote The King in Yellow with.
Yeah.
And and yeah, I'm in my second year and will be graduating in spring of 26.
Wow, congrats. That's
Thank you.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have such respect for people who go to get their masters. Like, that's such a feat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's honestly been a just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Oh,
it's very
good.
scary financially,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but it's so fulfilling. It's been so wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's through this program you're in that you created this short film, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was our first year. It's called a 541 film. It's meant to be essentially like a classroom exercise, especially designed for
Mhm.
people who aren't familiar with the craft of filmmaking. It's kind of like for
Okay.
producers, a drop into the deep end of the pool
Right.
to
Yeah.
make things.
And go.
Um, and go. Yeah. And they also tell you like this is not going to festivals. This is not your magnum opus. Don't get carried away.
Mm.
Your budget is
Mhm.
limited to this. You cannot exceed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You assigned collaborators. You have to work with them. And me and Elena were like, what if we just like
Fuck
let
that.
it rip? What if we just let it
Yeah.
rip? What if we just went for it?
I love
Um,
that. Yes, we need more of
yeah.
that energy. That's so
Thank you.
great.
Yeah.
And so, you brought it to, Film Quest. Well, you didn't attend Film Quest, but it was at Film Quest, among other film festivals, right?
Yeah, it had a pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah.
run.
That's
We played
awesome.
Screamfest in LA, which was an amazing
Yeah.
experience. We weren't able to attend Film Quest, which is killing me because it's my second time getting in, and I couldn't go last time either.
Ah.
But we did go to Brooklyn Horror that same weekend
Ooh,
because we had some
nice.
some personal connections that made getting out there and staying there a lot easier. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
nice.
um, Nightmares in Ohio,
Yeah,
and several others as well.
nice. Man, I 2 on my list are Screamfest and Nightmares. I really
Cool.
wanna go to
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
I mean, from talking to everybody at Screamfest and Brooklyn Horror, it kind of sounds like those are the three. Like Film Quest,
Yeah.
Screamfest, and Nightmares are really
Yeah.
people just say it's a really fun, fulfilling experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really want to attend the other two.
Yeah. Film Quest was so, so fun. I hope you have another opportunity. I'm sure you will,
Hopefully.
to go. It's so cool. It's such a cool film festival. And Jonathan, the host of it, is like the nicest, most genuine human. Like he just loves people and he loves creative people and he just wants all of us to be in a room together and talk to each other and connect,
That's
make
the
those
best.
connections. Yes,
Thank God for
it's
people like
really great.
Jonathan. We need more people like that.
Truly. Oh, why don't we talk about the king in yellow while we're
Cool.
here?
Sure.
So do you want to describe the plot? I don't know if you like want to withhold any details or anything, but
Sure.
feel
Well,
free.
I mean, the big thing to know, the big hook was really the challenge we made for ourselves, which was that um, for people who are really into cosmic horror and Lovecraftian horror, they might be familiar with the work of Robert W. Chambers, whose works in 1895 is cited as one of the inspirations for Lovecraft, what eventually developed into what we now recognize as cosmic horror. At the time, it was just kind of this
Right.
emerging little wave of weird fiction. He was kind of pulling this idea of Carcosa from this other short story, and then Lovecraft kind of was taking nods from King in Yellow, and then the mythos kind of started incorporating Hastur and the King in Yellow a little bit more. But this was kind of like, I think of it like primordial Lovecraft. And so
Okay.
so our idea was, could we take these four short stories? It's 10 short stories in the whole original King in Yellow
Okay. Wow.
short series, but there's four that establish and really talk about this fictional play called The King in Yellow.
Right.
And in this world, there's this play that these four different characters across these different stories each have some kind of interaction with. This play,
Mm.
if you read it, you go insane. And there's something
Yeah.
about the pull of it that draws you in, drives you to madness with
Mhm.
some kind of unfathomable revelation. And that idea of like the horror of knowledge is of course so foundational to what cosmic horror ultimately is, and it's
Yeah.
also something that really resonated with me. So we thought, could we take those very obscure, weird, very period stories
Yeah.
uh, that are really just describing this negative space of this unknowable contents of this fictitious play that we never really get a clear access to. We don't really even fully ever understand why everyone's drawn to it, but you get these little glimmers. Could we take that and we put it into a contemporary context? So our
Right.
idea
Yeah.
was to have a story where the world has existed with this dangerous play and hasn't fallen
Yeah.
to pieces, which means that it has become common knowledge. You do not read this play. This is a
Right.
dangerous work of fiction. But so much
Yeah.
time has passed that the danger around it is starting to fade, right? And so we meet three characters who decide, yeah, supposedly it's dangerous,
Right.
so to be safe, but no one's written about it. No one knows what's really in the play. Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
incredible if there was a way that we could do research into what it actually is and safely consume the contents of it? And so they
Right.
decide, what if
Right.
we break it into thirds? I'll read
Yeah.
one act, you read the second act, and this other character reads the third. We
Right.
never
Right.
overlap. We have these rules to make sure we
Yeah.
protect each other, and we just share
Mhm.
a little bit to just map the contours of the story.
Yeah.
And it goes totally great, and everyone's happy, and it's a pleasant,
Yeah.
happy ending.
Nothing bad happens. It's so
Nothing
great.
bad
Just
happens.
happy ending.
Just a good academic time.
No, there was, some really great one, cinematography in general, but there were also at least one off the top of my head. There was one, um, really interesting imagery. The imagery of, and this is a spoiler, someone dies, and, they're what? They're, positioned, in this, like, gold robe, and they're, like, above this what was it? It was, like, some kind of altar, it looked like.
Mhm.
Is that what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was?
Essentially, yeah, it's kind of like a we imagined like a shrine to Carcosa,
Yeah.
a shrine to the kingdom of the King in Yellow.
Yeah. Was there inspiration behind that imagery, or were you just like, "I got it, let's just do this"?
Ooh, inspiration for it? I think in terms of conceptual inspiration, I mean, among the very few clues we get to what is in this unknowable play, there
Mhm.
is a lot of repetition around describing certain imagery. And one of those things that's described is this city called Carcosa. And it's described as having these magnificent, just terrifying and beautiful, magnificent spires that
Right.
stretch up into the sky.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is sort of represents the kingdom of this being, whatever it is, the king in yellow.
Yeah.
And something about the way my mind associated that is it I was reminded of the shape of the mountain town in
Mm.
Fantasia, the original Fantasia,
Wow,
with the big
interesting.
gargoyle gothic
Yes.
demon guy who's sort of like conjuring all these ghosts
Yeah,
to like do
yeah.
his bidding and dance and perform for him. And
Yeah.
that image became kind of the root core inspiration that led to this sketch, and that's what ended up being
Wow.
the uh the King and Yellow
Yeah.
shrine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, fascinating, and it just really caught me. I was like, "Wow, this is really beautiful and so creepy at the same time."
Why, thank you. That's exactly the
You're
goal.
welcome. So who did the cinematography? Because that was exceptional.
Thank you. So that the cinematography was a definitely a collaboration. I took the lead with the cinematography on this project.
Nice.
Um, so I was kind of just given some of the experience that I've had in the past.
Mm,
I really knew what I wanted, and I was enjoying at this past year. I've kind of been enjoying taking like my theoretical understanding of cinematography that I've picked up on as an
Yeah.
AD, and because you really have to have a very intimate understanding of cinematography to be an effective AD, to
Right.
anticipate how things
Yeah.
are really going to work and how it's going to go.
Yeah. That
Um,
makes sense.
and it felt like a really fun opportunity to try my hand at it, and I wouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
do it on my own. I don't have enough. I can't. I'm not that arrogant to be able to like really do that. So I had a there was this really talented young guy that I met in school. He's an undergrad, named Colin Nelson, and he assisted me with the gaffing, with the lighting of the project.
Nice. Yeah.
He also helped me out with camera, and I kind of consulted with him to figure out like, okay, this is what I want. How could we do it? We brainstormed
Right.
together what tools because we're kind of cobbling together. Like I have some gear, he has some gear. The school
Yeah.
gives us some gear, but like we're pretty
Right.
much going to use our own stuff. And so we
Yeah.
kind of collaborated together, to make it happen. But it was
Yeah.
basically that was the core team, me and Colin.
That's awesome. Yeah, you both did an amazing job because it was so beautiful. Like it really looked like, a film, like very cinematic,
Thank you. Thank you so
which is,
much.
the goal.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
the
want
goal.
it to
It's the
look
goal.
like, you just filmed it on some iPhone 5 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we did it with gear we own. It's an FX30 with some Suru lenses, some Suru primes, and mostly lights that Colin happened to own, just a couple of LED lights.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need.
It really there you can accomplish a lot. I get a little
Mhm.
annoyed when people are like, these days you can just pick up a camera and anyone can do anything. And I'm like, yeah, well, you have to like know what to do with it. And you have to have people
Yeah.
who can help you. And that's kind of the hard
Right.
part, both of those two things. But yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
were able to accomplish quite a lot with very little.
Yeah. And, can I ask what was your budget?
Yeah, so our budget assigned to us in class is
Mm,
1800 for the whole thing.
1,800. Okay.
Um, and we went a little bit over.
Sure.
Um, we went a little bit
I feel
over,
like that's
but
typical.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I made sure that we didn't go that far over.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's well under, well under 5 grand.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good. It just looks like
Thank you.
it's not, an $1,800 budget film. So, you guys did a great job, I would say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You talked about, one, obvious horror inspiration, but do you have other, like, horror filmmaker inspirations, in general, really? But
Totally.
also for this film?
I mean, uh, one of my biggest inspirations lately has been Ari Aster, especially his work with Hereditary and
Mhm.
Midsommar. Um,
Yeah.
hoping he comes back to horror. Apparently, he didn't want to be there to begin with, but he just
Okay.
happened to make two masterpieces and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, now I've got that out of my system. Now I can make the movies I
Yeah.
want to make," and and
How do
great
you
for
know?
him. But I
Yeah.
like I liked what he was doing when he was, because he was trying to find a commercial way in, and horror was his way to get in, and
Yeah.
he just happened to do it so masterfully and
Yeah. Just
um
ridiculous.
ridiculously good. So he's a
Yeah.
huge inspiration. Robert Eggers is a huge
Mhm.
inspiration.
Those are such great inspirations,
Thank you.
and I can kinda see, like, cinematically, I can see those inspirations, like, very moody, I would say.
Yeah.
That's, like, the general vibe. Last question. What message or feeling do you hope audiences walk away with?
Mm. Um. Oh, that's a great question for this film. I I would say that the feeling is has to do with kind of the motif I've been really looking like trying to examine in my work lately, which is the horror
Mm,
of knowledge. The idea that there can be ideas which can enter our minds and
Mhm.
which are almost there's an almost violence to the knowing of them, that like
Mhm.
the kind of tantalizing allure of the possibility of like, what if there's something I could hold in my head that was so unfathomable that it was actually
Right.
dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I think that
Knowledge is
there's,
power.
yeah, knowledge is power, and knowledge having kind of a dangerous quality to it. I think that there's
Yeah.
something I don't know if I can find quite the words to describe how to connect that to what's going on in our world right now. But I think that humans as a species are at the moment experiencing a very monumental change in how we interact with information and with
Mhm.
knowledge.
Mhm.
I think that, I mean, obviously the nature of truth is under attack and being changed. I think
Yeah.
that people's conception of, is there validity to the idea of parallel truths and realities? Like, is that
Mhm.
just something we need to now reconcile with in this world where basically
Mhm.
all the floodgates that used to separate us now have been broken down by information technology?
Mhm.
Um, and there's kind of we're going through kind of an intellectually violent period,
Mhm.
and in some ways, actually, in many ways, actually violent period.
Yes.
As a result of
Yeah.
that, and it's, the same thing happened in the early 20th century with the proliferation of information technology with radio, kind of, I would
Oh, sure,
argue, was
yeah.
a major contributor to what became the world wars. And thank God it hasn't gotten to anything like that now. Maybe we're
Of
still
course.
holding on to the lessons from the past, and maybe
Yeah.
that's still what's kept us from going there, or maybe we're heading somewhere. I don't know, but
Yeah.
there's something about, like, humans, when we have these breakthroughs in our access to
Mhm.
knowledge and access to
Mhm.
information, there's
Mhm.
something that goes haywire with us at a collective
Mm.
level and at an individual level. And I've just been very
Interesting.
fascinated with just that whole area of like, we are a weird animal that has been burdened with this thing called advanced knowledge,
Yeah.
and it expresses itself in beautiful ways and it expresses
Mm.
itself in terrifying ways. And so the film
Yeah.
tries to end in this extreme, unfathomable duality between those two things, that there's something
Right.
that's so outrageously horrific that it becomes almost magnificent. And
Yeah.
leaving people kind of shaken by that dissonance,
Yeah.
is the magic of The King in Yellow, the original. And if I can kind of, if I've managed to evoke something similar to the experience of reading those texts, but
Mm.
made for a contemporary audience that's a little more
Right.
digestible than those works from
Sure.
1895, then I've succeeded. Although I have to say, like, I think anyone who's curious about what we're talking about right now, or anyone who's made it this far into the podcast, like, you're probably the right audience for A King in Yellow by Robert W. Chambers. I would definitely check it out. You don't have to worry about the back
Yeah.
six shorts. The front
Okay.
four are where it's at.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because now I'm curious.
It's a
Like,
great read. Yeah.
maybe I should just go pick it up from the library. So,
It starts with this weird, like, alternate history lesson. If you make it through
oh,
those first few pages, the story kicks in, and yeah, it
okay.
really, it's actually very, it's so meditative and so
Yeah.
upsetting. It's wonderful.
What a trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. Well, I love that. And I really appreciate your whole take on like knowledge is um scary. It can be
Yeah.
scary. It
It can be
can
scary.
be a great thing for people, but it can also be horrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. This was such an insightful and fun interview. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your interest in the project, and thank you for your time.
Well, that's it from me and Sam. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this filmmaker interview. You can follow Sam at the social media handles below. Please don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Bye, babe.